At that time, the Arabs had customs different than ours these days. Mecca is considered a city. Mecca is considered a city. So Mecca was considered a city. And one of the customs that the Arabs had is to teach children or to raise children, especially males, on roughness. But that wasn't convenient for them to do it in Mecca, in the city. So what did they do? They used to send their children out to the nomads or to the Bedouins in the desert and live there for some time. They become rough and tough, learn the Arabic language, and they come back after a few years strong and healthy and fit, more rougher than the city boys. As we all aware, the city boys now can't even change a tire. You go back to the country and you see the country boys are carrying hail and feeding animals and so forth. So of course, this was a business uh, that the people used to take their children to raise them in the desert, get paid by the people of the city of Mecca to raise the city boys or the city children. So the people that lived outside the city, they used to come to the city uh, and see if there is any children to be taken away and be raised and make money that way. So the Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam, Abdul Muttalib, Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam's grandfather, Abdul Muttalib, and his mother Amina wanted to send him out to the desert with the Bedouins. So one of the tribes that used to take children from Mecca to the desert, to their tribe or to their place, is called the people of Bani Sa'd. So Bani Sa'd, it was a tribe. They used to live in the nomad. They used to live in the desert. They used to live outside of Mecca. They have their own lands and farms, isolated from the city. The tribe of Bani Sa'd came to Mecca looking for business, to see if there is any family from Mecca has a child to send them and be raised in the desert, make them strong and bring them back. Usually they stay about a couple of years, 3 years, and they bring them back. In the tribe of Bani Sa'd, there were few breastfeeding women to take children. But every time a woman would come across Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam, the young boy, they refused to take him because his father is dead. Who's going to pay? His father is dead. So all the children were taken except Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam, assuming no money to be made from this child, from this orphan. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala plans, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala plans with wisdom and great manner. One of those breastfeeding ladies, her name is Halima As-Sa'diyah, that came from Bani Sa'd. As we said, her name is Halima As-Sa'diyah. All the other women had contracts with some families in Mecca to take their children and raise them and bring them back in a few years and make some money. Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam was proposed to every single woman of them and they refused. And he was even proposed to Halima, but she refused, Halima As-Sa'diyah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made all the other women take children except her. So she had no luck in finding any child to raise. And the reason she had no luck is because she came late. So later on, she realized all the children are taken, and her mates are going back to her tribe with children except her. It became an embarrassment for her. She came all the way from Mecca, and all her friends from her tribe got children except her. It's very shameful. So her husband told her, maybe we should take that orphan child. Maybe he'll be a blessing and look like we came with something. So she said, I'll take him, and maybe Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Almighty, will bless us. No doubt what she thought came true, and a lot more than what she expected. So she took the Prophet Muhammad والسلام, and she went back to her tribes. Her name is Halima As-Sa'diyya radiallahu anha. When she first came to Mecca, her donkey was injured. Her donkey was injured on the way, and she was the last to catch up with the caravan. And that's why she came late to Mecca. And that's why she didn't have no chance in finding a child to take back. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala delays a matter, know that it is for a purpose. When she took the Prophet Muhammad والسلام, her donkey was running and the first to lead the caravan. The injury was healed. All her friends were asking if she bought a new donkey. Where did this donkey come from? She says, by Allah the Almighty, it's the same donkey. The barakah, or the blessings of the Prophet Muhammad والسلام, started to come up in her and her family right away. When she arrived to her town, she said, we used to live in a time of drought. They barely had enough milk from their goats because there was no grass to eat in the desert. She said, by Allah the Almighty, the same night Muhammad والسلام, came to our house, it's like a different world. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala started to bless the land from being so dry to being so moist. The goats were full of milk and was enough for the entire tribe to drink. This is the blessing of the Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu wassalam. They realized then they have made or chosen a great choice. This is not just an orphan kid. There is something special behind that child. And Muhammad alayhi salatu wassalam would live with Halima for up to 6 years. Typically, children, they would live in the tribe of Bani Sa'ad for a couple years to 3 years. And they would come back. The Arabs kept their children for a couple years to 3 years. But Halima living with the Prophet Muhammad والسلام, although she had no idea who he is going to be, she started to practically see the blessings and the characters of the Prophet Muhammad والسلام. This is not an ordinary child. This is the final prophet to be, Muhammad والسلام. When Amina wanted to take him back, after a couple of years or 3 years, Halima As-Sa'diyya insisted that he stays with her until an amazing event that took place, which is the opening of the chest of the Prophet Muhammad alayhi as-salatu wassalam.